Hey, what's up, y'all? So I did a Monster Factory in retrospect at the airport, so to speak, the other day. But now I had a chance to look at my experience there, and what I really want to say is that I enjoyed myself. Um, Great hospitality over there. Did a little sightseeing, so that was cool to do things like that. Um, Stayed at the Arlington Resort and Spa. That was more of a hey, guess what? I'm gonna take some of this light out because this is not okay. That's better. Um, Ooh, that's even better. Um, so in retrospect, I stayed at the Arlington Resort and Spa. That's a historical place, so that's always pretty cool to do and things like that. But performance wise, and now that I had a chance to really think and have a couple good nights sleep about it, and then I've talked to a handful of people. They told me what they thought, and listening to other podcast shows, I heard what they had to say. And it's not that I don't care what other people think. It's more of, hey, you know, I guess it is to a certain degree. Jay Clean, what's up, my man? How you doing? So a lot went through my mind after that event, right? Because after every tournament I participated in there, Arm Wars, Monster Factory, Nationals, whatever, always sit there and reflect on what happened. So now you got Rush Raider, right? And we'll start with that because that was the first match, of the card on Saturday. Very strong. And for you guys to understand this, I want to know for me personally, where I fit in that. Now, way too strong in the strap, to the point where I'm thinking, you know what? Should I even continue to dabble in that weight class, right? So, technically it's a 242 class, right? But I came in at 232, Russ was 255. So, from that standpoint, I didn't say, hey, Russ, we have to meet at this weight. It's just for a ranking thing. That wasn't a real big deal for me. This was more of, I want to test myself. Do I have what it takes to compete against somebody, you know, in a higher, who was stronger and heavier than me? And that answer came real quick. It was no, right? Okay, no big deal. I actually it was a big deal because gearing up for that match, and I trained for it, had to get mentally ready for that thing. Jay Clean says he was a solid weight class above you in reality. Yeah, would it mattered had he come down? If we're closer in weight, maybe, maybe not. But what y'all got to realize is that I trained hard for that. I really did. And for me, it was a big letdown. I even talked to Michael, this morning. He called to check on me and said, hey, how you doing? Did you have fun? I told him, and I'll be honest, I'm not going to sit there, and cry about it. But, I told him, I said, I feel like I let you guys down because I put so much stock into that one match, right? Because again, the match with Daniel Worley was a throwaway match. Now I was just subbing in for Roger Lerner because he couldn't make it. Yeah, fine, let's do this. But I put so much stock into that Rush Shredder match that I didn't even get one win. I got swept. So how that made me feel, after that. So I'm kind of going, okay, match is over. And two things happened. One, I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm glad this thing is over because Russ and I are real, good friends, And like I said before, it's hard for me to kind of get my mind to where, when you respect somebody that much and try to go, okay, now I got to beat this guy. That's weird to me. It is what it is. What's up, Daniel Urick? How you doing, buddy? Jay Clean says, if he was 230, I think it would make a massive difference. Dropping nearly 30 pounds would be significant. Yes, and I thought about that, but again, I'm not gonna harp on that too much. Um, I could have gotten bigger, but I know 232 is about pushing it for me. If I get any bigger, then I tend to get sloppier, right? Bigger isn't always better. It depends on what body frame. And one of the things I kept beating myself up at is the fact that you know what? You never want to leave a tournament or leave the table and have these what if questions, right? You know. Thank you, Daniel. You appreciate it. You don't want to sit there and go, what if I would have done this and done that? Now, Rush Shredder, 255. strong, solid dude. Normally, probably don't want to go inside with him. Now, I've trained inside, I'm pretty damn decent at it. Pretty damn good. I can hang with some people. Now, after pool. And, we're just messing around. I'm hooking up all these other guys going inside and stuff. I'm feeling pretty damn good. And of course, a couple of dudes said, hey, well, how come you didn't do that against Russ? I don't know. But I'll say this. Working my way up to train for this match. And my thing was this. My game plan. Now I'm going to stay outside, and see if I could bust his wrist back, which I did outside the strap. But when we got in the strap, all that went down the toilet, But the thing is, though, is Jay Clean, I'm not blaming you, him, or you, just for clarification. No, I mean, you're absolutely right. What sucks is the fact that why train a certain way if you're not going to use it when it counts, right? So I guess we could say is that if I'm working my hook, training in my inside and my cupping and, supination, then why not use it? Because it'd be a waste of time. And I thought about that on the plane ride home. I thought about that yesterday on the drive home from Portland to Bend. And I'm like going, you know what? Why didn't I use that? I haven't sat there and I was talking to my wife, at the airport. And I'm not blaming everybody that helped me out, the train to get ready. I'm not blaming them. But I did sit there and kind of say, you know what? What I probably should have did said, fuck it. If I'm down 2-0, which I was, I probably should have said, screw it. Let's just go on the hook and see what happens. And then maybe, I would have made him work maybe. Now, would that change? That would have changed the match? Probably not. But at least I would have made him work. In my mind, I would have made him work for it. So looking back, I didn't want to get to a point where I'm just like, I'm training this way, but then I'll never use it. That's just a waste of time. So that kind of, crossed my mind, yeah, you're right. Hindsight is 2020, unfortunately, woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? And I hate that feeling. I do. Now, fast forward, next match, Daniel Worley. And, I kind of knew coming into this match that he's a little tricky, I got to watch out. He likes to, do some tomfoolery in the setup, and I got to be ready for that. I wasn't comfortable. Now, I'm not saying all Florida guys do that, but I listened to some of the podcasts, and they were like saying, oh, yeah, Daniel had the match. I'm thinking, did he though? Because look, the way I train, because I'm also a certified referee, at a junior level, but still, I'm certified. And I know that I'm trying to start like this. And it felt like when I gripped up and we slipped and got to the strap, the way he dove in there, I ended up like this. And when they tightened the strap, I was like that. So I'm already opened up. So let's fast forward to match 2, because that's when that's happened. So I create a pocket like this, right? I'm blocking my pro there, but it creates this pocket. He showed me what happened after the match. Dove right on in there, and then kind of did this, and then went like that. So yes, he was straight, right? He was also at an angle. So 2 things. 1, I'm like this. And 3, when they tighten that strap, I'm like that. There's no way I'm going to fight like that, Sister Sarah's in the house. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining me, y'all. And the thing is, yeah, here's the funny part. Jay Clean, Daniel's just another one of those Florida setup dorks. No disrespect, just say with the humor. No, I get what you're saying. But if you think about it, though, Austin Wade, Florida, had the same issues with Bob Brown. False starting, fouling, and the rest of it, because it's like, settle down, And the thing is, though, is that when I'm here and like that, I am not going to fight like that. And I let the match go because, number one, I'm already up 1-0 because Daniel fouled out. So I already up 1-0. Now, had I been down 1-0 and I'm like that, then I'd probably say, yeah, I'm going to fight my ass off. I would have just kind of went in like this and came in and kind of, got my shoulder involved. But I'm not going to sit there and burn myself out on the setup. And it was hard for me to kind of cap my thumb. And you guys saw the video. It's hard for me to cap my thumb, So I don't know if it's a Florida thing, but a lot of those guys do that stuff. Well, Carl Stanley didn't do it, but a lot of those guys kind of do that stuff, and that's them. I'm not knocking them for it. That's just something they do down there, and makes me wonder when they come out of their element and do it elsewhere, do they get away with all that stuff they need to do down there? Maybe, maybe not. All I know is that shit didn't work over here, and my take back from it and I was pissed off. So now I gave it up. So after match 2, it's 1-1. Now we go to match 3, and I'm thinking, all right, here we go. And he's grabbing me doing this, the setup games, cool, Andy Beckett, how you doing? How you doing? The setup games, and I wasn't going for it. I was telling the ref, I'm like, dude, I am not. If you want to pull, let's pull. I mean, first of all, I'll be damned if I travel somewhere X amount of hours away, halfway through the country, to sit there and, excuse my language, cover your ears, Sarah, and sit there and just finger fuck my opponent. No, let's go ahead, grip up the right way, and when they say go, let the pieces fall where they may. Michael said it. Jason Latona has said it. I think even Rebecca has said it. Man, these guys are like this. I mean, you think, oh, here comes Jody, but here comes Worley. Jody, Worley, maybe not. So it was so even that it felt like neither one of us got what we wanted out of the match. I don't know if he felt uncomfortable, meaning Daniel. I'm not sure if it was that. I know I'm pissed off. Strap match, fall started again. It's like going, dude, settle the fuck down, man. Then I just got pissed off and just took off sideways. And I didn't even care if he got my wrist back by the time I got here. I don't give a shit. I'm just going to fucking finish it that way, And I did. Cool. 2-1. Not a big deal. But now I'm thinking, all right, all I need is 1. I'm feeling pretty good, but, and I don't know if he wasn't thinking or he ended up fouling out twice again. So now I ended up winning 3-1. Now, nobody wants to win like that, No, you don't want to win like that. And I was like, you know what? I was so frustrated. I want to just get the match over with, and it made me think, should I just say, you know what? I don't want to win like that. Let's just go ahead and do this thing over. But I don't know if the event was on some kind of time schedule, and come to find out they weren't, because I think after Craig Tullier beat Eduardo Tiete 3-0, they want to go into a hook per Bob Brown. I'm thinking, well, hell, I probably could have did that then. But nonetheless, 3-1. And now I'm thinking, you know what? I just felt like, you ever go to the store and get like a bag of chips and it's like, oh, sweet. And then they feel full, right? But then you open them and then half the air comes out and then you only got a half a bag of chips. That's how I kind of felt, and my thing was like, you know what? Daniel said it, we have to run it back. I'm thinking, yeah, I want to run that back. Hell, even Michael sat there and said, hey, I wish, Daniel had about, maybe 5 or 6 rounds just to see how, because I still want to know deep down, I'm sure he's thinking the same way. So hopefully one of these days, Daniel and I will meet up. I know I ain't fucking going to Florida and pulling, because I know good and damn well I don't have a chance down there. My opinion, though. Nothing against those guys. That's just my opinion. If I went down there to Florida and pulled Daniel Worley, I am not coming out of victory. No, sir. That is not going to happen. But I don't know. Maybe we'll have to redo that, because I really want to, I really, really want to say, hey, get in there and just battle. And if I lose, he's the better man, And if I win, I'm the better man, whatever the case may be, But I felt like there were some question marks that was left at the table when I left that event. So I'm still kind of bummed out, but, I don't have time to mope too much now. It's back to training now and kind of getting ready for the next event. I know I got my tournament coming up June 24th, Redmond, Oregon, the 3rd annual LOD. Hey, if you want to come out, go ahead, because guess what? If you win your class, automatically in the running for the overall, left hand, right hand, and the prize is $500 to the left hand overall champ, $500 to the right hand overall champ. So June 24th, mark it on your calendars. Let me know what's going on. If you're interested, let me know. Message me. I will go ahead and send you that flyer, and that'll be awesome. But still, Retrospect. Very, very blessed to be invited there. I can also put that as a bucket list event. Will I get invited back? I don't know, because that's another thing. I wanted to make an impression on them, Michael and Rebecca, to where, hey, if there's any future, Monster Factory events down the road, hey, don't forget about me. And that's one thing I'm bummed out about, because I felt like the way the night went, I didn't give it really anything that I would say, oh, we got to have him back. That's why I felt. Michael said, you did fine, man. You did okay. I'm like, okay. And that's good coming from him. But for me, I expect better of myself. I will say this, though. Once the big letdown from losing to Rush Shredder happened, and the match is over, step outside the factory. I'm in the parking lot, calling my wife, and she was watching it, by the way. Love her to death. Thank you, babe. And she's like, I saw your match. Are you okay? I'm like, no, not really. I mean, I thought I had everything for him, and I just sat there and I had nothing. So the stress level's gone, and I still have my right-handed match. And my man in my corner, Tim Thomas, was like, dude, fuck it. Who cares? Have fun now. You're right. You know what? Because this is my party hand. The right hand's my party hand. It's so bipolar. It's not even, it's not even funny. It's bipolar. So sometimes I have good days. Other times I have bad. Last year was my right hand was a piece of crap, right? This year, East versus West qualifier in Washington took second place. Armours, not gonna say nothing. Ha! Monster Factory, I did better right than hey, I got a win, a legit win, but the other two were wins too. In the record books, hey, Jody 3, Daniel Worley 1, but to me, I see an asterisk, right? Okay. So anyway, I don't know. I mean, that's just how I feel. Back to the drawing board. I did some training this morning, and now I got to get my mind right. And as I was training, I was watching on my flat screen in my garage, watching the whole match over. I mean, honestly, there's nothing to watch as far as Russ is concerned because Russ is total domination. There ain't nothing I can do. I mean, he was just a stronger guy, better guy. Ain't nothing I can do to change that. But the Daniel match, watching that over and over again, what could I have done differently? I could have been more aggressive, I guess. I could have said, well, fuck you. I'm going to go ahead and go like that and just sit there. That's not me, though. I'm not cut from that cloth. So there's that. But yeah, watching it over and over. Oh, I could have done this or I could have done that better. But we'll see. Hopefully, wouldn't it be nice to put a bow tie on this Daniel Worley Jody match if we got invited again to say, hey, you know what? What you guys saw, I know I can do better than that. I'm sure Daniel would agree. He can do better than that. How about we run it back at the Monster Factory? And you know what? If you want to take this video once it's all posted, share it to Daniel or whatever, that's fine too. Share it to Michael, Rebecca. I'm okay with that too. I'm putting it on now as of May 2nd. Secret of Miles coming up, by the way. May 2nd, 12:31 Pacific Standard Time. I will love another rematch. And in this time around, make it count. Just make it count. I want to make sure that I fulfill my obligation. I want to make sure I give it all because the one thing I will say I did at Armours, I left everything on the table. Everything. And I felt like at the Monster Factory, I quite didn't do that. And I want to make sure there is no question marks when I step off that table. So, yeah, feel free to share this video. Hey, Worley, Williams, too. Only this time, it will be finished the right way. So, well, everybody, thank y'all for joining me on the show. Appreciate that. Jay Clean, Sister Sarah, Daniel Urick, Andy Beckett. I appreciate you guys. And you guys enjoy your Tuesday. I will talk to y'all soon. Be nice to each other.